Hey, welcome back everyone to the online summer work and learn. So, thanks for all your efforts in completing week one work. Many of you probably have already viewed the email that I sent out Saturday, and it should indicate to you whether or not you had any work left to do from week one and exactly what is going to be required of you in week two. And I think if you haven't already viewed that email, you should probably take some steps to do that. It should be sent to your Gmail account. So that's your DSBN Gmail account. But of course, if that's not something that is readily accessible for you, and it probably should be, it might also exist in your email. So if you go up to your email in your D2L e-learning, I included myself. I sent myself one of them so you can kind of see what it looks like. This email account is just within the e-learning platform. I will use it to send those weekly messages. It's not too big of a deal for me to make sure the message arrives there. However, I usually just function in the regular at students.dsbn.org. And of course, for me, it's at dsbn.org. And I think many of you should already know where to find my email. Many messages should have been sent already to your inbox. When you get to your inbox here, you're going to be looking for a very specific message that I sent. And that message is going to start with ATTN colon and then online summer work and learn week one review, week two details. And when you click it, this is just an example that I would have sent to me. If you're under the age of 18, it goes to you and your parents. And it just sort of says, whether or not you've completed all the coursework. And if you have, you'll see this, all work complete. See grades and feedback in the D2L e-learning platform. And that's where you're going to find all the feedback, the grades that I'm giving you for your assignments. If you have any questions about those, please feel encouraged to send me an email. Typically I say, me giving you a grade is not telling me what your grade is, but telling you how you can improve your grade. And if it's not obvious, just sort of based on your overall effort in approaching the assignment on how you can improve your grade and you care to improve your grade and you don't know how to, you can certainly shoot me an email about that. If you're achieving a really, really high grade, then there's probably not going to be too much growth available to you. And in that case, you might just want to buckle down and take a look at the week two work. And that's going to be indicated here. So, since I have worked no hours in a part-time job this week, I'm going to be approaching all of these tasks. If you see any empty bullets here, just don't worry. That's not a mistake. Those are just empty spaces where if you didn't complete work, there would be other details listed. And then same down here, if you see any empty bullets, it shouldn't be a mistake. If you think it is, you can always shoot me a message and I can clarify it for you. But certainly, I think all these emails are accurate. I can't get rid of the empty bullets. It's a technical thing. I tried to and caused a few problems, but this is probably the first thing you want to check because it's going to give you the guidance that you need to approach our week two work. So if you're viewing this video, you've seen the updated guide to week two co-op announcement, and I appreciate you looking at it. It's just going to make sure that you're not missing any important details. I think the number one pitfall from first week was not logging into the DSBN Google account. So I'm just going to model this, all right? If I open a new tab, I'm going to go to google.ca, right? And you might have several Google accounts that you can log into. We got personal ones. You might have a school one, and that's the one you need to be in order to view a lot of the work. If you're not in a DSBN Google account, right? And I know all of you have one, then you cannot view the required work that you're going to need to view. To access or change your Google account, you're going to try to find an icon up here with usually an initial. And you can see I'm already logged into my school one, but I'm just going to model what it looks like to log into one that is maybe a little bit different. So if you're not logged into your DSBN Google account, you open a new tab, you click here, and then you click Add Another Account. Okay, and you want to make sure you're signed into this account the entire time you're trying to complete coursework, because if you're not going to be able to view what you need to view, and it's going to be frustrating for you, and I'm going to be answering more emails about things you can't see when you click on the content in D2L. Once the page loads, you just type in your login information. I'm just going to use my son's. He's going into grade 2. You click next. Okay. You then will have to type in your password, whatever that might be. Then once you submit the correct password, you'll be up here logged into correct DSBN Google account. And it's as simple as that. So I'm going to go back to our homepage and preview the work that you need to do for week 2. Now this is going to be a preview that reflects an individual who's doing every one of the assignments. And that's important for you to keep in mind. And obviously, if anything doesn't apply to you for whatever reason, then please, do what you're being asked to do in the email. Now, it's obvious to me that some of you missed the welcome and orientation tab, and that had an important form for you to fill out. So if one of the things that you were asked to do in the week 1 look back as far as things that were incomplete, it could very well be a very simple form that you just sort of missed viewing, the Co-op Connection e-learning form. I absolutely do require this to be filled out, some demographic information, along with a little bit of goal setting, which we're going to be using later on for future assignments. So not doing that will actually not allow you to complete some assignments further down the road, which is not where I want anyone to be at. Again, you can only view it if you're logged into your DSBN Google account, and you should see that DSBN Google account right here. And if you don't, then make sure you get logged into the correct one, not your sisters or brothers or whatever. But yeah, under the welcome and orientation, please make sure this form gets filled out. It's a missing assignment on top of, it hindering you a little bit later down the road. All the week 1 work will still be there, and it's still going to be viewable. And if you had to go back and do anything or improve on anything at your preference, then please make sure you do that. If you do catch up on old work, it's super awesome for me if you do the courtesy of just shooting me an email telling me what you did. That way I won't miss going back and marking. I don't usually miss anything when things are submitted on time, but sometimes if you're working from behind, then sometimes I might not happen to check the data that's been sent to me or the assignment that's been sent to me, and I don't want to miss giving you the grades that you've earned and you've worked for. So please make sure you take some time to do that for me. And now the week 2 information is what I really want to spend some time going through with you. So week 2 has a little bit of an introduction, talking about the topics, human rights and confidentiality, and then talking about how there's going to be a reflection that's required, and everyone is doing a reflection, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end. Of course, it reminds you that you need to be logged into your DSBN Google account, so make sure that you're doing that. And, as a courtesy, finishing your work by 4 o'clock on Friday is just great. It gives me the time to grade it, to review what's finished, not finished, and then of course to prepare a really accurate email for you to give you full detail on exactly what I need you to do in the coming week. So please make every effort to finish your work Friday at 4 o'clock. Also, you head into the weekend with no work to do, which is just awesome for absolutely everybody. And if you need any extra time, I'm a really understanding person. It'd be great if you shot me an email, but for your own sake, try to get it done before you go to bed on Sunday. Because on Monday, when you wake up, I'm probably going to have the work ready for you. Latest Monday at noon, the work will be ready for you every week to start again. So this week I spent a lot of my time making sure almost every assignment is completed in Google Forms. Please don't think that just because it's a Google form, you can kind of fill it out haphazardly and quickly and, try not worry about using proper grammar or expressing your ideas in full detail because the Google Forms are the assignments. And if you're nervous about losing your content when you're filling out a Google form, you can always complete it in Google Doc and then copy and paste your answers into Google Forms. That's sometimes a helpful strategy, but I absolutely am going to require that the submission of everything is done through the D2L links. The other thing about the D2L links is you can open them in larger windows. So I'm just going to view the first lesson on human rights here. I'm not going to go through every slide. That's going to be in a separate video, and it's going to be inserted right between the W2.2 lesson and the human rights quiz. So I'll have a little video of me sort of explaining the slides and giving you a video guided talk through of the information, which I know is always helpful. But certainly, clicking and reading through, if you feel comfortable doing that, can sometimes be a little bit faster, especially if I'm being long-winded in my explanation, and you can get all the information that you perhaps need, right? And again, like this whole course is really just about learning, learning about the workplace, learning to be prepared for a working environment and employment, and giving you a lot of good information that people don't usually discover till a little ways down the road. So with that being said, don't feel like you can't be referring to the lessons even while you're trying to fill out some of the assignments. So if you stay in the standard limited view of D2L, it's a little bit hard to kind of, see everything because it's in a little small section of your screen, as you can tell. But it makes what you're looking at full screen, and then you can kind of click through the slides as you go. Super helpful. You can also exit full screen up here, and you can even in full screen hit the present button, and that will make the slide show nice and big. And of course, that's what I do when I talk through the slideshow with you typically, but it's your own discretion to do that. So after the little presentation, which includes some videos, which you really do need to take some time to watch, there's a fact sheet for you to view and read through. So this fact sheet, along with the presentation, is going to prepare you to do the quiz, which again, it's a Google form. These quizzes are scenario based, so they take a little while longer to read through, and you're just encouraged to do your best. I should have put in the quiz an option to sort of go back and edit your answers. I think you can only take the quiz once, but of course, if you're having any challenges navigating that, then just please let me know. After the human rights lesson is a confidentiality lesson. Unlike the human rights one, the confidentiality is just a PowerPoint presentation. And again, I'm going to have a video inserted between W2.5 and the confidentiality quiz, which is just me talking through the confidentiality slides so that you sort of like get a little commentary and a little context for some of the information. And that can be sometimes helpful, especially if you're not big into sort of like reading through PowerPoint presentations. They're sort of designed to be spoken through. And obviously, as a teacher, I'm happy to take some time to do that. For many, important, so definitely take some time to read through. And then, of course, there's another quiz, which is a scenario-based quiz, extra time to read through it, but it's all sort of multiple choice setup situation. So yeah, make sure you view that. Finish the quiz. There are two options for weekly reflections, and these are a must do. However, you're not doing both of them. You're either doing one or the other. I should have indicated to you in your email exactly which one you should be doing. One is built for students who are not working, and one is built for students who are working. And we have about a 50-50 split, maybe a few more people working than not. And when you pull up this reflection, again, you're going to need to be logged into your DSB and Google account. I should have set the settings so that you can go back and change or, update answers or responses. But in this reflection, you're going to be thinking about maybe your last week or last 2 weeks of work since your summer break started. And, I want to know how many hours you're scheduled to work in the next 7 days. I'm hoping this is going to be pretty consistent week over week. But if it's not, we're just going to do our best as we sort of work through coursework. There's some questions to answer that are specific to being employed, and that's really important for you to understand. And this is really important. There's an option, there's a spot for you to add a file, and this is just going to be an image file, so like a picture from your phone or any kind of image from a webcam, and it's going to be an image of your most recent pay stub. So if you are working, you will be getting a pay stub of one kind or another, or some kind of document indicating your name and the number of hours that you're working within a certain time frame. I know this might not be super accurate, given that it could be from a week ago or more, but I do require that I get a new one every single week, or an indication, that you are truly putting in the time that you're reporting to me through your voluntary filling in of these particular forms. So please, next time you come across your most recent pay stub, take a snapshot of it. If it's online, just take a screenshot of it, and then make sure you upload that file with this form. And not completing this form and to the best of your ability will result in, not either whether you're working or not working, not doing this reflection is a major no-no. Like I need you to take the time to do it. You're going to be at risk of not earning the credit, and so I need to support you in all the steps that need to be taken to be accountable for work that's being done. We're trying to pull from your work experiences, and if not from your work experiences, we're trying to kind of get you prepared for that environment. And it's really important that you complete this to the best of your ability. Every single question, read it carefully. There's going to be a lot of repeating week over week, so we won't feel like you have to read it in tons of detail every week. But there you go. This is week 2 in a snapshot. Thanks. See you guys later. Email me if you need me.